Yo. We're late. No, I'm sorry. But we're here. I'm here. Don't worry about it. I got something in the mail today. Starters. A gift from my auntie in Queensland. The socks. It says, I'm gaming, don't disturb. They're cool if you're gaming downstairs and your feet are up. But we're just to wear normally because the text is on the bottom. For a second I thought it was like a door thing, but it's not. But other than that, we got this in the mail today. I guess it was like Walker Plaza. I'm not gonna try to grind it and get it anytime soon, but I want to slowly but surely grind for this plat, because it'd be cool to say that I have this plat. It's like 100-hour plat, you know. So if I like slowly grind it'll get there quicker than you think. If you focus on like maybe 1 hour a night, by June I'll have the plat. So I want to start downloading this. I need to delete Mars Morales, the PS4 version, because I'm not going to play that anytime soon. And it's just taking up too much space. I will get the plat. I don't know when I'll get the plat, because I replayed it ending of 2023 after we played Spider-Man 2. But I'll get the plat later on. I'm in like no urgent need to get the plat, because all I need to do is just play the game again. I got a notification. What happened? Oh, my controller's dying. That's what's going on. It's like, what's going on? Oh, either I let my PS4 controller die, which it should have been charging the entire time last night. My PS5. Also, we watched Nosferatu today. Pretty obscure feelings for me. Not for the film in particular, but before I watched the film, because for starters, I was in Cinema 3, one of the cinema. Basically, I'm in like VMAX 1 or 11 or Cinema 9 or 7 or whatever. I've never been in Cinema 3, so it was like, it's just like, it's VMAX, but it's a standard screen. It's weird, because it was the same like VMAX type design. But not only that, I was trying to find my row, which is J, and it was like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and that was the second last row. I'm like, what? Why is it H, I? Like, for legit majority of the previews, I'm like, I'm just gonna sit down the back row on the designated seat that I had on my ticket, because there's no J row. But it actually was a J row. It was, I don't know why, there was like, why is there no I row? Village. It's because 1 and 1 and O and O. So they just skip it. That makes sense, but it was very confusing for me. It's like, it should be right I. Right? So like, I was like, is someone gonna come here and be like, oh, this is my seat? So it was like, I was so wary. Legit, anyone who was walking up, I was like, is this your spot? I was like, because I knew I've got the second from the, because there's this like walkway thing you walk through to get in the cinema, then you have to go up, and there's 2 rows at the very top that that were behind it, so it weren't getting split up. It's kind of a shit design because you want to sit in the center of the screen, not on the left or the right. So it's kind of annoying that the doorway's there. But nevertheless, like there's 2 rows, one right behind it and the one the back row, which I was on. And it was like part of me was like, am I in the wrong seat? 2, am I in the wrong fucking cinema? Am I gonna be watching Nosferatu? Legit, a part of me believed that I don't know what I'm gonna watch. If it's not Nosferatu, what am I going to watch? And like, because Nosferatu is a film I've never seen. I've seen the first trailer for it fucking months ago. I have no idea, like, if it is Nosferatu or not. But it started with black and white. I'm like, oh, this has to be Nosferatu. And she started moaning, which kind of cringed me out. Because, like, why would you... Is it meant to make you feel uncomfortable at the beginning? Like, she was legitimately having metaphysical sex with a demon. And she was moaning. And that was, like, the cold open, if you will. That was very, very an obscure shot. But then, at that point, I was just watching the film. And I'm not going to say it's a bad movie, but it's just one that... It's like an Oppenheimer. You watch it for the sake of watching it, but you may not want to watch it again. It's rewatchable, sure, but it's so weird because I would suspect it was over an hour into the film. We still haven't... Like, I completely forgot Willem Dafoe was meant to be in the film. Next thing you know, he was in the film. And I was like, oh yeah, he's in this film. And he, like, was over an hour into the film that he was introduced. I'm like, he's one of the main characters, and you introduce him so far late into the film. Also, I have to give props to the makeup and the art and the costume department. I didn't know Nosferatu was Bill Skarsgård. I didn't know one of the other girl, I think her name's Anna, is Emma Corrin, who played the bald villain from I forget her actual name, from Deadpool and Wolverine. Even though I know they them, I just know these 2 films she was a bald-haired chick, and in this one she was a mother. Very devoted Christian mother, which is kind of weird to think because the actress is like not. Anyways, also the lead doctor that is in Willem Dafoe, he was played by that British actor that I've seen in a bunch of stuff. I had no idea that was him. He did not look like him. Good props to the fucking... Props to him as an actor, to be honest. So, like, it's kind of like the guy from Furiosa. He just looks like Solid Snake, but you wouldn't be able to fucking see the actor, like, on a random photo and be like, oh, that's the guy from Furiosa. You just wouldn't know because they look so different. Anyways, there was some titty, there was some nudity, there was apparently vampire stuff. Apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently it's all about a metaphor about sexual assault. And I read like last month, like, if you enjoyed the film and you're a man, you like sexual assault, which is like that made me kind of iffy. Like, if I were to like this, will people say that I'm a bad person for enjoying something that's meant to be a metaphor for sexual assault, even though it wasn't even a metaphor? It was like a literal fucking theme that there would need to be, like, fleshly bonded, or whatever the words were. Also, like, it was very, like, you don't really know who the main character is in this film. Because for legit the beginning bit of it, your brain, like, associates the main character being Nicholas Holt's character, because he's the one with Nosferatu. And he's fighting, or he's basically, the reason why he goes to the fucking castle is because Nosferatu bought a house in the village that they live. But then after he, like, returns, or is gone for a bit, he's legit gone for a bit, to the point that the girl becomes the main character. And she's more so the main character for the rest of the film than he is. And it's like, such a, like, for the viewing perception, at the beginning, you think she's just the weird wife or whatever, that had, like, a weird background, but she slowly becomes the main character. Then the supporting cast slowly become crazy, to the point that, the devout Christian becomes insane because he gets bitten from rats or whatever. But she then, this is the even more insane part, Nosferatu, because there was 3 nights, and each night he'd start killing people she loves, and on the 3rd night, you have to come with me, otherwise I'm gonna kill your husband. I don't know if it was his plan to die. I imagine, like, your plan of life is just to fuck one girl and then die right afterwards. That's legit the movie in a nutshell. But yeah, like, Nosferatu on the first night comes to their house. We hear the screaming from the little girls. One of them is already dead, but then Nosferatu picks up the other one, and you see it on screen biting the child and dumping her. That was insane. That's more squirm-inducing than fucking any of the Terrifier, like, killings were for me. It's like, you actually showed it on screen? That's insane. Sure it was in the dark, but still. Then what's even... It's insinuated, and it didn't click in my brain until I was just thinking back to the scene. But after the funeral, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character becomes, like, crazy, but then he kind of realizes what everyone is saying is true. He sees the bite marks from the vampire in Nicholas Holt's character. Like, otherwise, what else could they fucking be? She looks like a Laurel. She looks like Aubrey Plaza. That's weird. So I'm assuming he already became sick from whatever the plague was, but then it's insinuated he opened up his now dead wife's casket and committed necrophilia. It's insinuated that because he's laying dead on top of her with her legs spread, and I was like, what the fuck? Insane. Fuck it. Like, it's an enjoyable film, and I've been meaning to get into Robert Eggers type films, like, because he did The Northman, which came out a couple years ago now, and he did The Lighthouse, which people believe is, like, legit a modern classic. Everyone should watch it. I haven't seen it. I know my cousin has, and he loves it, and he always, instead of, like, thinking back to Twilight, every time he would think of Robert Pattinson is that film. So that's why he was excited for him to be Batman. Is this a twig? But overall, the film is fun. But before I hop on, whilst this is downloading, I want to watch Charlie's review of it, because he watched it quite recently as well. He doesn't do voice meters anymore. He just talks about a film and whether he likes it or not. But that's still better than nothing. I listened to In Morada today. That's why it's stuck in my head. Also, I decided on this yesterday that instead of just watching movies or watching TV shows every night for the next maybe couple of weeks, what I'm going to be watching is the BTS of the Spider-Man films, because I bought the collector's editions of each Spider-Man film a couple of years ago now. Like before I started buying all these movies on DVD, I was like, let's collect every single Spider-Man DVD ever released. So basically every iteration of a design from the Spider-Man movies. I'm assuming this isn't the final one they're going to do. If it is, it's a good final one, because these are fucking sick designs. I just feel they would need to redesign the Homecoming trilogy, because I don't particularly like No Way Home's. I don't think anyone likes No Way Home's main poster DVD cover, because the Spider-Man stance is so blocky. But yeah, I just started watching the BTS stuff because it's like over 10 hours of content. It fucking is. For a solid hour and a half, I was just like looking through the different pages, because it's like with Transformers 1, even though this came out before Transformers 1. The main DVD for the movie is the good character, then the special features is the bad character. It's a fucking cool thing, because in Transformers it's Optimus, then it's Megatron. In this one, it's all Spider-Man for the movie, but then the special features is all green, and it's like the same design and everything. I fucking love that. They don't do collector's editions of DVDs anymore. And they legit don't make... I mean, they do make these documentaries for Disney Plus. Probably get more views on Disney Plus as well, but something special about the people making the film talking about the film, but it's only for people who are willingly to buy a collector's edition. Like, and I always knew collector's editions of movies were a thing, but I just never really bought them. Because, like, either you already have the movie, so you don't need to get it, or you haven't seen the movie, so why would you get a collector's edition to watch it for the first time? But then again, I understand collector's editions are for fans, and that's what I did. Like, I was considering buying the collector's edition of Spider-Man 2, the game, to get the 19 inches of Venom, and I could have him right next to my Spider-Man up there. But that didn't come with a physical game, so I was like, what's the point? A collector's edition without the collectible part? Like, I'm glad I have the PS5 cover. Anyways, what I'm going to do first and foremost is check. Fuck me, nearly a week and still hasn't been updated. What I'm going to do, I'm going to storage, console, games and apps. Thing is, this is my bulk of my... Like, I'm gonna re-download it, guaranteed, to continue. But don't delete my save. Yeah. So now it's only gonna have the 3 Spider-Mans, which is what I want to do anyway. See, look. Bang. It looks way better now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bad boy in and start downloading it. Even though I already have it, I bought it online, so I can, if I need to do online stuff. I have my other... Oh, that's fucking weird. I was wondering why it's turning weird. It's gonna be so weird playing all these games at the same time. Because I've always wanted to platinum that game. I tried platinum it years ago, but then I realized how hard it was gonna be. But I do wonder if I enjoy this and enjoy Injustice 2, will I want to do the Mortal Kombats? Maybe. Because apparently Injustice 2 is 10 times better, and I fucking love Injustice 1. Anyways, whilst that's downloading, I want to watch Charlie's review. Because my review, it's like, I want to give it a 7 out of 10, but it's better than an average 7 out of 10 film. You know what I mean? It's better than the average 7 out of 10 film.
Cisco, what happened out there? I followed your directions exactly.
I'm sorry. I led you the wrong way. The schematics that we had, they weren't up to date.
What, they weren't up to date? What do you mean? That's never happened before.
What, you think Cisco was trying to get you killed?
No, why would he do that? Doesn't make any sense.
I know, that's why I was joking.
Barry, it's our job to protect you, and today we failed, but that'll just serve as a warning for all of us to be more vigilant in the future.
Good news, the apitoxin is out of your body. Your levels are back to normal.
Terrific. Ray, Felicity, we're gonna be late for dinner.
Are you sure that's wise, Barry?
I'm fine. Alive. Hungry. All right? Let's go.
Why didn't we get invited?
Cisco.
Nanites, courtesy of Ray Palmer. They're delivering a high-frequency pulse that's disabling your speed. You're not going to be running around for quite a while.
The history books say you live to be 86 years old, Mr. Queen. Well, I guess the history books are wrong.
Thanks, fellas.
No problem.
Nice haircut. And I see we've abandoned our traditional green.
Try something different. Look, I might need a favor from you.
Wherever, whenever.
Nanites.
Jake, get up! I need you to drive me to the gym.
Okay, I'll go too. Let me get changed. All right, I'm ready. Take that off.
What do you mean? I was wearing this first. So what are we hitting today?
There's girls here. They're gonna think we're dating. What the? Hey, excuse me, you're in my way. I said get out. You're being so annoying.
I'm telling Mom.
No, stop. You can kick me back. Hey, do you want to come with me to the store or whatever?
I mean, yeah, I guess, weirdo. That guy's so hot.
Bro, he literally looks like me.
Ew.
Yo, bro, my sister thinks you're hot.
Jake, shut up.
Hey, can I get an 8-piece nuggets?
Bye.
Shut up. That's all. What's up?
What's up?
I just want to ask how you're doing.
What? Why are you being so nice?
I can't be nice. That's why I don't talk to you.
Yeah, you can come over. Give me 1 sec.
You see this? I got the better genetics.
By the way, my friend's coming over. Just don't be weird.
Obviously. Why would I do that? Shh. She won't know, I promise.
Where'd she go? What? Jake, get up! I need you to.
I don't like this version of shorts because I can't actually scroll.
Sonic the Hedgehog stands out as an example.
Today we are launching these new cotton swab products called Q-tips.
Wow.
And so we'd like to hear your thoughts. What kind of things could you see yourself doing with these little bad boys? I put one in my ear hole and I quite like it. Okay, no, we should note that there is a wrong answer and that was it.
Hey, look at me. You okay?
Worked. It worked.
Okay, so the how works. Now we gotta figure out the when and the where. Almost everyone in this room has had an encounter with at least one of the 6 Infinity Stones.
Or substitute the word encounter for damn near been killed by one of the 6 Infinity Stones.
Well, I haven't. But I don't even know what the hell you're all talking about.
Regardless, we only have enough pin particles for 1 round trip each, and these stones have been in a lot of different places throughout history.
Our history. So, not a lot of convenient spots to just drop in, yeah?
Which means we have to pick our targets.
Correct.
So, let's start with the ether. Thor, what do you know?
Is he asleep?
No. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Hey, look at me. You okay?
Knowing that those white suits are pure CG and they look so real is a testament of how good CG can be.
Look at me.
Because they could have just made those suits, but they didn't.
Good morning. Hello, patrons. I have a...
Don't make me ask you again. Who are you?
Dawn's very harvest.
Erase me from the timeline. At midnight. Man, he is good. I mean, that's like a work of evil art. The question is now, what do I do with you?
Oh, you could still help me.
Help me. No, I'm the bad guy.
But you're also a father.
My Nora's dead. I am done listening to you.
In my timeline, a demon was going to take over her soul, but you switched places with her. You gave your own life so she could live.
If you're lying to me, I'll see you burn. Nora. Nora.
Dad, why?
Because I love you. And I couldn't watch you become a monster. Like me. Let's go to work. Don't make me ask you again.
I like how Damien Dark was just a villain on every major show. I just know he's not gonna like it because apparently this guy I know he has cancer now. Apparently he just hates instrumentals, which is weird for a music fan and a producer. But don't you prefer the music?
Oh wow, it's the Columbia Pictures logo.
If someone told you this was your ordinary Columbia Pictures logo, somebody lied.
God, fuck you. God damn it. He's gonna try to force that joke.
God, I hate it.
I don't get it.
I kind of love it.
Ben hasn't seen the movie.
This movie is so good, dude.
I'm so fucking excited to watch this.
I know. I'm
damn
excited to just
movie.
watch this.
Oh my god.
I'm just not gonna
bro.
say anything. I'm just gonna watch.
If somebody told you I was just your average, ordinary guy, not a care in the world, somebody lied.
Somebody lied.
Stuff like that, and change the tempo, you know, if they want, by looking at each other and stuff. Obviously you can't do that with an orchestra because everyone doesn't have line of sight and stuff like that, but like the whole point of a classical musician and a classical piece being performed is to do it as close as humanly possible to what's the instructions that were written on the music, and then it's the interpretation of the conductor to bring that out, right? So like that's
an
his
interesting
career.
thing for you to say about him.
Yeah, that's his career as far as I understand it.
Yeah, good.
Is this the same song? Or did
This is the new song.
New song? Okay, well, we'll keep going.
We've already started it.
We'll keep going.
This song
This is
the
like kind of the one for me off this record.
in a bad way.
No, in a good way.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the
I have a lot of nostalgia.
S&M exclusive songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Pretty sure. Oh no, it's Aerosmith. Yes.
See what you're saying.
The Eminem, and then Eminem covered it. If you only had one shot, one chance, would you throw up on your mom's spaghetti or whatever that song is?
You just cannot stand that anybody likes anything. That's the thing that you...
No, I just like pretending that I like things everybody else hates. It's great.
No,
Okay.
you do like things
Hold on.
everybody else hates.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
true. But I want to hear this. So.
Also, this is the prime example.
Starting right in the middle of a song.
Yep.
Yes.
What feels right all the time? What? That is weird.
This is chorus material. The beginning of the song.
This is not No Leaf Clover, is it?
Yes.
Really? Uh-huh. Okay. I'll see if I notice any part of it or recognize it. What was that? Okay, so this was obviously done post.
Right. He doesn't actually
Probably
have
the
two
music
heads.
video for this song.
Yeah. Totally. Makes sense.
I don't remember.
This was re-recorded, the vocals.
I think all the vocals on this song, we're not hearing the live vocals.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't, right?
Yeah, that didn't sound like, yeah. It sounded like it before.
It did.
Maybe it transitioned into like the single version or whatever.
Interesting. I never considered that.
Yeah, the strings are gone too from the mix. Now they're back. This does sound kind of familiar, I will say. The freight train
It
comment
should.
part.
It
was unbelievably popular for a while.
But I wasn't listening to the radio at the time. I mean, I guess I was.
We love the radio.
Yeah, but I just listened to like Linkin Park and POD and stuff, not this kind of junk. This would have been like with AC/DC on like classic rock or some crap.
Cool underground stuff like Linkin Park.
Dude, Linkin Park Underground is literally what they call their whole fan base. Good job. I'm glad you're such a fan and you know the underground stuff about it. Yeah, that solo is. This is not what he's playing.
The guitar tone's not the same as it has been the whole rest of the thing.
Completely different.
This is really interesting, actually. I didn't ever
It's
notice.
subtle. They did it really well, but it's not the same.
The string strings, I'm sure, are the same strings that were recorded at the same time of what we're hearing.
It said that in the wiki. It said something like, let's see. Rolling Clover has been performed in concert. Oh, never mind. I read that 5 times before. I never got it right.
Oh, there was a video edit there, a stutter. You see that?
I didn't actually.
It could have been something screwed up on my end.
They were doing weird stuff to James's face at the beginning of it, right?
I didn't notice
Was it
that.
just that? Yeah.
Really? I thought that's what you were talking about when you complained about.
That's what I thought too.
What the?
When he had 2 heads.
I didn't know, huh?
Wow.
They're not showing Lars at all. Because I bet he's playing something completely different than what he's actually playing. Dude, they all look so young. It's weird.
Because they were.
Yeah, but it's not that long ago. I mean, I guess it is, but...
almost 25 years ago? No, at least 25 years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
Now 26.
That was a brand new one for y'all. It's on the no-leaf clover, man. Righteous, dude. That's awesome.
Pause or no?
Yes, let's pause. While Lars is doing something. Okay, so that's my first time hearing. Okay, the freight train coming part sounded a little familiar to me, so I must have heard that somewhere. But I don't remember ever seeing that like on MTV or in a music video or anything, so I probably would have just turned it off, I guess, or something if it was on. I'm sure it was played all the time. Yeah, I would say overall that song was not as familiar to me. So, I liked it. I think it was good. I think it did sound very similar to the previous song, like when which I mean, some of their songs from Load and Reload do sound kind of samey-ish, or that you could lift parts out and put them over. Because
I think they're all written at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Yeah, and
I like how he says that for Load and Reload, but Master Puppets.
This
and
video
Justice
is going to
were
be
like that.
crazier than when I was 11 years old and looked up Amy from Sonic's Rule 34 pictures only to learn that Knuckles' fists weren't only for digging. That's right, I'm talking about baiting the YouTuber Penguin Zero into copying one of my videos. How do I plan on doing that? Well, I'll be posting 2 videos every single day with the goal of getting ahead of him to posting it, so then I can ultimately claim that he copied me.
Now on a more serious note, Penguin Zero is my favorite YouTuber. He has been, I think, for the past 15 years. I remember watching like his Billy Mays voiceover cleaning videos, and when he played like Pepsi Man and all these old Flash games on the computer. Then he developed into a streamer, started showing his face, and then to this day now he posts 2 videos every single day.
But I specifically thought to myself, I'll bet you could take that la da 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 la part and put it over the section where they were doing Kirk's solo in that song. I bet it would fit perfectly, like with the chord progression or whatever. But that's doesn't really matter. That's not neither here nor there. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that that's like super impressive song to me or anything. Very jarring, the production stuff. Mainly when they did that crazy thing with James vocals, you know, because you can tell obviously that like the crowd noise, literally everything goes away. Like they're not trying to hide the fact that was some trickery. Whether it was, I'm pretty sure it was just a whole separate take that they recorded later in the studio. Probably, I'm sure.
I thought it was super weird, the idea that they would, because I feel like the live performance would happen first, and then they would take that and use it to make the song instead of having that already pre-recorded and putting it into the DVD. Like, I think that's really backwards.
No, I think they did do it that way, but they did it in between when they released the DVD. So like, you're right, they did perform the song there, and the fact that they weren't showing them performing lots of it, I almost wonder if some of the lyrics were changed, or if like Lars part, they never showed Lars drumming in that song at all. Whenever they did, it was just him doing like one hit at the end of a phrase, because he's always ending the same, obviously. But when they did show him a couple times, like I noticed he hit the snare drum once and then hit the snare, but he actually did like a flam or something in the song. So like
It's weird because he doesn't like Metallica, but he likes Metallica, if that makes any sense. He complains about everything, but he likes stuff that no one likes.
That's cool. Okay, sorry. Anything else before we get to Metallica? No, let's get to Metallica. So, I did not look anything up about this. This is all going to be a big surprise to me. This is the first time we're going to be doing a reaction to a video like this. This is only the second time we have Chris Schoenberg here as Remote Chris II. And so, hopefully everything works out okay. One.
Yeah, similar.
Which this came out in what year, Chris? 1997 or something?
01.
What? Really? 1999 it says on the
okay.
disc. So.
Yeah, listen to that then. But...
Okay, here's a conductor dude.
Terrible. Yep, he is now dead.
The conductor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer. No, he's just the conductor. Is he the guy that like helped write, like compose the song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He died in 03 actually, shortly after this.
Wait, who is it?
Michael Kamen.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Has he done anything else we would know?
Die?
Something, unfortunately, we're all familiar with at one point or another.
Otherwise, I don't really know. Let's see.
Okay, look at this idiot. Has to put on his headset. What a dummy. Gotta hear the click. Gotta hear all those tracks Metallica uses when they perform live.
The calm headset probably says go.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of orchestra there.
Ooh. Oh. God, this is what opens it. I knew that.
For Whom the Bell Tolls?
No. They have the same intro for every concert. It's Ecstasy of Gold.
Is that's a song of theirs?
It's an Ennio Morricone song.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I know this song actually. Yeah, of course.
I actually saw this song.
I'm sorry. How can you not know that? Not know Ecstasy of Gold? How can people who don't even know the song know the song?
The fountains were going to it.
Ryan Ugly or whatever movie this is from. Once Upon a Time in the West.
You were gonna say something, I thought, just now.
Like Post?
Why would James come out first? That's weird, isn't it? Oh, because he's got to play first.
Yeah.
Dude, I am so pumped, you guys. Let's go. Let's go. I seriously, like, I was going to get into this earlier, but, like, I love bands when they play with orchestras. I'm shocked I have not heard this so far.
Look like instrumental tracks.
That I don't care for as much. But if I can see something with a visual aid, am I watching this in the highest resolution possible? Nope. Now I'm watching it in 1080.
Well, it's not real 1080, so it's all right.
It's upscaled. That's all right.
Right, but it's can't create information.
Yeah, but the audio track now is going to be completely different, though. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, good point.
And everyone was saying in the Discord the music is what matters the most, but they want to be able to. Okay, here we go. Aha! Master of Puppets. I know this one.
Nobody looks cooler playing guitar than James.
He should have worn jeans.
Yeah. And that shirt should have no sleeves.
Yeah, like he wore the suit jacket for the first thing and then he took it off to do Master. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh, now you can hear some vocal mix.
Yep. I noticed that the guitars, when the strings were and the orchestra was playing, the guitars had a high pass filter or a low pass filter on them to allow some of the definition to come through. I think it's just on the guitars I don't think it goes on and off, but I really noticed it at certain points.
The blend of
does James have the mic so low?
He looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Anything he does. I mean, he does look cool, but
I don't know. He's always done that.
Most rock stars like to step up to the mic, you know, rather than
That's not true, but okay.
go down on it.
I don't know. It makes him look like he's like 6'10".
How do you feel about letting the crowd sing the song?
It's not my favorite thing. Not even when I'm there. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
As an audio guy, really, you don't like when the crowd does that? Fucking surprising.
I think it's cool for like bridges and things where there's maybe a building part or a repeating section at the end of a song, but not during the first chorus of the song.
I really like the way that James sings this whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
do you think he does it a little cleaner?
This is definitely his most like sing-songy performance of all of these songs.
But it's probably because, do you think they felt pressure being there with real musicians? But you know what I mean.
No, I think it was just how he shifted his vocal styles towards this period of time.
Yeah. For Load and Reload.
Yeah. And this is like pretty much everything. Excluding Saint Anger, this is how he sings pretty much all the time.
Right, and since Black Album.
Yeah.
A lot of nice delayed reverb there at the end of the phrase. So hospital or something. We were going to do
like that out? One word answer, Patrick. Did you like that out?
Not even close. I think it's
that was a lot of words, but okay.
Yeah, no. We could talk about it a lot.
Dude, you're gonna get murdered in the comments on that.
Hey, you should watch me and Cody's Beach Boys reaction.
Pet Sounds?
Yeah, every song on Pet Sounds fades out.
Like Pet Sounds?
Every song fades out, Chris. Every song on Pet Sounds. Well, that's every song was poorly written.
I mean, I know better, but like you're
Pet Sounds. Today, for the very first time, believe it or not, I will be listening to The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
How can you be an audio engineer but not know music? I don't get that. Like, what do you listen to if you don't know the greatest stuff released?
Gotta tune the drums. Haven't heard any timpani. Not too much percussion, other than bells and stuff, xylophones and some chimes and whatnot. Which doesn't surprise me because Lars is the rhythm section for the song. So.
Right, it'd be tough to.
Well, you could have lots of shakers and clippy clops and finger cymbals and whatnot, but
yeah.
Nirvana. I know this one. Come as you are, as a friend.
I mean, this is...
It's so weird, because he doesn't have an ear for music. He thinks something sounds like another thing because it reminds him of something, but doesn't sound anywhere similar.
Peak 90s guitar effect.
Yeah. I still don't know what song this is.
Hero of the Day.
The only song they've written in major.
This is off of Load or Reload. Yes. Load, yes. Damn it. I try to remember the songs from Load.
Ha! This is one of my favorite songs from
This is not a Metallica CD.
And I really like the orchestra arrangement.
I remember that, yeah. Oh, this is the song before Bleeding Me. Okay. I think I'll remember the chorus, hopefully. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back. My name is Patrick. This is Chris. That's Chris. Thank you for joining us. And in case this is your first video watching us here on the channel, we, over the last 2 years, I had never heard any of the Metallica albums with the exception of the Black Album. So we went back through, we reacted to every single one of their albums, all of their studio albums at this point. But now we've just got S&M left, and then the second disc of Garage Inc., which people keep pestering us, do that, do that, do that. And so we're going to end up having to do that eventually too, but we'll probably not get to that till next year. But so yeah, go check out any of those videos if this video is cool and you sort of enjoy hanging out with us and watching these. We like to think of them kind of like podcasts. I kind of think of it almost sort of like a fan commentary over the music, and in this case over the video as well, because we're not going to just sit here and watch and listen and not say anything. That is not what we do. Shut up. If anyone thinks that he had any control over the start of that song, you are delusional. There was a click and a person in all of their headphones telling them when to go.
I like how he blatantly thinks he's telling the truth when it's a fact that Michael Kamen has come out and said that the orchestra follows James Hetfield because he's the lead member of the band. Everyone follows his sound. Lars follows the guitar half the time, or majority of the time. You can't confidently lie saying, oh, everyone believes that's actually happening, mate. It is. Half the time, Michael Kamen doesn't do the conducting for the intro. Because he just follows.
Okay, so one more thing I want to get into real quick before we actually get into the Metallica.
We can talk about this while the video's playing.
No,
Nobody
not this
cares.
part.
People
Not this
like
thing.
it when we talk about
Not this thing.
the videos.
Especially if it's not relevant. Yeah,
So for those, okay, I guess two things. Just real quick.
My albums list during the movie.
That's fine. You can do that. So real quick. For those of you who have been following us and been here on the channel with us, you will know that in December of last year, January of this year, in the middle there, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and we haven't uploaded a video for a while, so just a quick update on that. At the end of this year here, because we're in December now, by the time we're recording this, I think it's like December 12th or 13th or something like that. I went through the whole year of very intense treatment, and I did a test here towards the end of the year, and I believe it was at the end of October, and it turns out that basically everything didn't work as well as they wanted it to, and so now at the beginning of next year, I have to have a bone marrow transplant, which is quite a process, and I'm going to have to move into Omaha, the nearest city to me, so I can be close to the hospital I've been going to throughout the whole year for 100 days, and it's going to be a big process, but I'm thinking as long as everything goes all right, I'll be okay to still do things on the channel, interact with people on Discord, stuff like that. So I don't think that. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of 12-Year-Old Reacts. I am so excited for this one. Today, for the very first time, for all three of us, we are going to listen to brand new Metallica. This is 72 Seasons. Nope. Distorted bass. I'm going to open my kickstart. I like it.
I had something on the side.
It's on the right side for me. I have a cable that reverses my stereo. The guitars are not very distorted, which is exactly what. That was one of the things that I noticed about Mux Eterna. I was like, oh, I like the way the guitars sound not overly distorted. I'm gonna turn it up actually a smooth. Man, they go away when that kick hits too. Oh, they do. Yeah. That almost sounds like an edit rather than a sidechain compression. You think?
I don't think that's just...
One.
I have heard this one.
Okay. This is reminding me of a different Metallica. Dude, that's like a southerny, like southern country pride riff, right? One.
That's cool.
Yep.
Well, I was wrong.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Godsmack could literally do this.
It's 15 minutes long. Shite.
That's not Metallica.
It would be if it was double the speed.
The notes
On the other side.
the notes are weird.
It's weird because Metallica has used that phrase a lot throughout their albums, especially in Hardwired. Like it's like 4 songs that utilize the octave from the second fret of the E.
That one harmony note's not Metallica.
One.
No. It's at least extremely similar.
Maybe there's just more harmony parts in there, or whatever, something thicker part.
That was a little kill 'em all, I think.
I wouldn't know. Do you think this was supposed to be the second single or whatever, because it's the short one again? Just curious.
Fucking awesome. Sorry.
That's alright. Little solos. Ah. Whoa.
What's your favorite part of the song?
One. That song felt like it came from the same album as Lux Eterna.
Yes.
That song felt like Lux Eterna. I like that. I love that. That's probably my second, maybe favorite song on the album.
That was great. It made me think, like, he's doing so many more interesting things vocally than he ever has, in terms of like funky vocal rhythms and, you know, singing in different ways than he ever has before. Like, I feel like there's never been this much of a
solo is back on the other side now.
Where it belongs.
Yeah, where it was the whole rest of the album. Maybe it was last song too, I can't remember. Okay, that was cool. Weird. That's cool. Ooh. Yeah. Slowing it down. Ooh. Yeah. Yes.
You know, what's crazy is that the music video fits this song as well.
There's why the kick sounds different, because this part of the song. This is great.
They don't do stuff like that very often at all. Really. Where they have like a melody in the vocal and the guitar that's not necessarily a riff. I mean, it is a riff, but
It's got a harmony. The only weak part of the song for me is the intro and the outro riff. That's the only weak part. Even though it's my favorite song of the album.
What an ending.
okay, so Chris, I don't know if you could hear what we were talking about there, but one thing we said that the kick was totally screwed up that song.
I don't know if it screwed it up.
I didn't like it as much as the rest of the album at all.
It's because they had to do that fast part.
I know, but even still, they could have had it sounding better.
I think so too. It was like real. The click was very bright.
Yeah, it was very weird.
That's true.
Now, the other thing we noticed right away, was the vocals were lower on this song than they have been.
Mm-hmm. By the end of the song, I was fine with it.
Yeah, it didn't bother me as much, but to me, that's a big bummer because those two things for me really lower my overall enjoyment of this song. Whereas I feel like this could have almost been my favorite song on the album if it was mixed as well as the other stuff that we've heard. Like,
I might put this in a contention for favorite song of the album.
I loved the chorus.
It reminds me of there's a medley that they did on Garage. That's a 12-minute medley called Merciful Fate that I love. It's my favorite song on that album, and there is so much of that in this song, vocally for sure. And on Hardwired, my favorite song is Halo on Fire, and the second half of Halo on Fire is just like they just do a little pause breakdown, and then he does that high sort of melody thing that he was doing in the second half of this song.
Yeah.
That whole second half of that song is just the coolest, best version of that they've ever done. And it reminded me of that a lot too. And this was really great. I love that high melody stuff with the guitar harmonies and things. Man, that's the way. That's so catchy.
That was really cool when that started, and then you're like, yes. And then the low harmony came in, you're like, yes.
Yeah, it's like, yes.
Yes.
Was that you commenting on the broken, beaten, scarred thing?
Yeah. I did. I was like, yep, that's from the previous album for sure.
That's awesome. That's cool. One.
And it's instrumental.
And then some acoustic guitars come in. I'll bet you that's what we're gonna get.
11 minutes. I'm gonna guess it's got acoustics and it's instrumental.
I hope not, but we'll see. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Better? It is. For now, it'll change as soon as the script changes.
It's balanced better.
It is. For now, it'll change. I like it.
Because there's more room for it in the...
Yes, I knew it wasn't.
Over...
We don't know this. I knew it wasn't.
Bass is always way more noticeable on their instrumental songs because there's more room for it in the middle of the mix, you know?
We don't know this. knew it wasn't.
Well,
From the first two notes, I knew it wasn't.
0 for 5.
We still could second song. That's I know. Yeah. What are we gonna do for 7 minutes? Can play the very end of that track so we can hear what they were saying, okay?
Yeah, I stopped it early, so I missed it.
Yeah, we couldn't tell it either, but there's definitely some talking.
It's farther back than that. It's more than 5 seconds.
That was the best one.
That button was the best one.
So, thank you, good night. That button was the best one. That was the best button.
One of those voices was James Hetfield, but I don't know who the other guys were.
Jack Fadiman.
Could have been the producers.
I love that they said thank you, good night. Dude, that might be my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I really like that one a lot.
That was really good. I loved that. It was different, very different, obviously, but like, man, for that being an 11-minute song, dang.
This is also a man who hasn't heard Outlaw Torn, Bleeding Me, any of these songs at the moment. Because this was before his other reactions. Which is insane to think about.
Didn't feel like that way. No, he really, and the fact that that one was mixed well, you know. Now that we're done with the album, we can talk about overall. And to me, the biggest thing is like inconsistency with the mixing from song to song.
Inamorata and Remember, Too Far Gone into Remember into Inamorata is probably one of the greatest back-to-back songs they have done in quite a bit. That's like, it's a testament because those final three songs have banger after banger. You can argue that the beginning of Hardwired was like that, with Hardwired, Moth into Flame, and Alice Rise into Moth into Flame. No, fuck, it's Now That We're Dead. Disregard that. Now That We're Dead is a very boring song for me. Alright, let's watch this video, then I'll play it till about 1, then we'll do Injustice for an hour. I'm sorry, it's a shit stream, I know, I don't care. I like chilling.
Everyone has a reason. But if you haven't found one...
Also, I want to get more inspired doing music-wise, so watching reactions to songs I like gets me inspired to learn those songs. So I need to, like, get back into... If I learn the fucking Disposable Hero solo, that'll be like one of my favorite songs to play, because that solo is fun to listen to.
It's really good, but just like Pinocchio when he finally proved his selflessness, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, and I didn't love it as much as everyone else seems to. I went into Nosferatu expecting this to be one of my favorite movies of the year. In fact, it's the sole reason I haven't done a top 5 movies of 2024 yet, because I was so certain that this film was going to enter into that top 5. I had expectations out the wazoo on it. Maybe unfairly so, but I just had a whole lot of faith in it because very talented director. The trailer I thought was incredible. Usually I'm not super impressed by trailers, but this one I actually was. I thought it was a really good looking movie. I love the Dracula tale. I mean, ever since I saw Bram Stoker's Dracula, I've always thought it was a very cool story, and this is a very talented director putting his spin on the story. This seemed like a fucking slam dunk to me. And in a lot of ways, in a lot of departments, it is, but it's definitely not in my top 5 films of the year. I did like it. I liked it very much, but I'm not going to be gushing grannies over this one, unfortunately.
So the trailer dropped. What was your first reaction to seeing yourself as Count Orlok in Nosferatu? Oh, I was so terrified. Robert Eggers showed me the molds and sort of the direction of the character, and
Smell that? What smell? The smoke? It's blood.
It's also one of the only times that a movie's remade 100 years after the original. That's like if in 2112 they remake the Avengers. Or something like that. She looks like the chick in the movie. What the fuck?
I have a lot of great things to say about it, but I know at this point no one gives a fuck about that since I've said all of this. No one's going to care about my compliments. I think now they just want to hear the complaints on why I feel differently about it than most people seem to. But I'd still like to start with all the compliments because, again, this is a very good movie. I think the style of the film is
spectacular. It is probably my favorite movie stylistically of the year. Every scene is just gorgeous, and the atmosphere is haunting, chilling. Like, every shot is breathtaking. It is so good. And it also really helps that the acting, all of the performances are outstanding. Extraordinary work. I dare say it might even be better than my performance in The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. And you know I don't give that compliment out lightly. Everyone in here really did an immaculate job breathing life into their characters. And speaking of breathing life, let's talk about death. Nosferatu himself, Count Orlok, this is probably the best depiction of Dracula. He's not like Gary Oldman, where he's basically just like a fucking swagged out man who's a smooth talker and charming. No. Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok.
Are wormholes portals to new worlds or lost homework? Keep organized.
He's a monster. He's just actually a revolting monster. He looks like one of Nurgle's disciples from Warhammer 40k. He is this blistering, oozing, rotting thing. And it is menacing. And it helps that Bill Skarsgård did such a good job of making this character scary. Every time he is on screen and speaking, it's like a holy shit, what is this thing? This isn't the same kind of Dracula depiction I think anyone was expecting. Certainly not me.
Before we move on, and I forget, one of the major complaints about the film is that when Orlok was speaking English, it was very, very hard to understand him. Like, to the point you had to actually properly pay attention and be like, oh, he said this, he said that. That's my only major critique, because if he doesn't speak English, it's in subtitles. Also, one of my favorite shots of the movie, I think other like filmmakers would be like, how did that happen? I mean, it's probably a simple way to do it, but how did that happen? It was either was a seamless cut without me noticing, but there was a shot where it was slowly it wasn't panning, it was turning. I forget the terminology. Like, it was following a character, like going, like walking in a semicircle to walk straight. So it was doing that, but instead of cutting, the camera immediately stopped still in frame, waiting for the character to arrive. Then it started going. Like, as soon as I saw it in the theater, I was like, that was a weird looking shot. Like, it moves, stops, but still goes. It's so jarring. That shot was so jarring.
Where it's like, oh, there's still like some kind of human element to the monster. But no, Count Orlok is actually just death. He is evil incarnate. There is not even a single moment of humanization. He is a plague, a miasma that kills all, and that is that. He is just an evil thing. And I love that. I think that is a great direction for this character. And Bill Skarsgård crushed it. Another thing I didn't expect is that the film is pretty heavy on horror. I didn't think that this would actually be, a horror movie. I thought there'd be elements of it. But no, it's really a pretty strong horror film in its own right.
How many jump scares,
so that was a pleasant surprise, because they did horror well. It builds tension effectively. You get the feeling nobody is safe because Count Orlok truly is just an evil monster that will kill anyone at any time. It was a very nice surprise to see just how much they were committed to unnerving the audience, and I think they really accomplished that goal. But now I want to get into some things that I don't think worked all that well. I guess for me personally. This movie, time doesn't really exist. Every character in this film has unlocked fast travel. And true. I mean that in the truest sense of the word.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
The film starts where we have Thomas, who is going to Count Orlok for some business. I feel like if you've seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, you'll kind of know that premise. It doesn't follow Bram Stoker's Dracula 1-to-1 or anything, but there is clearly some elements that are shared between them. It's, Dracula's story at its core. And Nosferatu takes that and it builds on it in a really, really beautiful way. But in the beginning, you have Thomas, and he's going to Count Orlok's. They make it clear that this is a pretty arduous journey. It's a six-week venture out there. It's not quick by any means. But He gets there pretty quickly, which is fine. You don't need to spend 6 weeks on the fucking Oregon Trail, right? You don't need to know everything that happens on the journey. He gets there, and it's nightmarish. It's a really good set of sequences that happen that showcase just how fucked up and deranged Count Orlok is. And Thomas is feeling the effects of, I'm actually here with the devil right now. It's great stuff. And then Thomas eventually, he escapes. I guess this is getting into spoilers now. I'm going to give spoiler warnings here, but there's no way I can talk about my complaints without getting into spoilers. So he's able to get out of there, and his wife, Ellen, she's very concerned. She didn't want him to go on this trip. She's had all of these nightmares that feel real, and there's a lot of things that she knows that she should know because of this strange set of nightmares that happen and the things that go on while she sleeps. So she knows that things are pretty perilous, and Thomas still goes, and then all that happens. He escapes, and there's this tension of, man, what's happening with Thomas? I hope Thomas is okay, and that's felt with Ellen as well as Thomas's friend, who is taking care of her in his abode. And they're all concerned, and then Thomas kind of just rolls up on horseback.
This looks tasty.
To be fair, it was
The Sports
after a
Bet
while
Racing
of not
Multi now
seeing
has
him.
more places. Combine horses to finish top 5, 6, 7 for bigger odds.
So I don't actually know how long it was. Apparently she spent months in the house. I don't know.
Like lickety split. So Thomas escapes, and he gets nursed back to health by some religious people that are able to help kind of stifle away the curse of Count Orlok. Now, this is another complaint I have, where convenient things just seem to happen with people that are omniscient. So when Thomas escapes, one of the people of the faith happen to see him on the shore. They bring him into the church, and they immediately know everything that he has experienced without him ever telling them. So they are beyond knowledgeable about what has gone on to him, and also how to fix it to the best of their ability and heal him. And they do that very quickly. It's only like a 5-minute scene, and then he rides away on horseback, and then like 3 scenes later, he's back with Ellen and everybody else in like the main hub. That was a 6-week journey that he has now just made in 3 scenes without any real feeling that a lot of time has passed between these events. Now, they do have an offhanded mention of months going by, but that's not something you would ever get without them just briefly mentioning it in passing. Now, admittedly, that kind of thing also happens in Bram Stoker's Dracula, but to a lesser degree. There was more time with Keanu Reeves in the castle, and it felt like a longer time had gone by before he made it back. Here, he gets in and gets out pretty quickly, and that is something that stays true throughout the whole film. So there is a time limit that Count Orlok puts on love, saying, there's 3 nights now. You have 3 nights, Ellen. And on one of the nights, on night 2, something tragic happens, where someone's family is murdered. And in the morning, the person wakes up, realizes this, and then somehow all in the same day is able to throw a funeral, have that service, go back, talk.
That's what I thought that was. I was like, you had the funeral the same day they died. I don't know how times were like back then, but I thought that immediately, like, this is part of the 3 days, right? That's like, it's a very, like, how does that make sense?
Again and strategize about this plague, and then still have time to once again go back to that funeral, to the cemetery, excuse me. All of this happens in a day somehow. So he must have woke up, saw his family's dead, and said, all right, immediately, Jarvis, we need to schedule the funeral now. Like, how the fuck could you have gone from something that horrific to having the funeral in a matter of minutes, I guess? Because that's the only way that the timeline makes sense. He would have immediately had to have that funeral. It's just really weird to me, unless I somehow missed something. Now, they do have, like, coffins that are going down the streets for some other shots because of the plague that is coming through. So I'm guessing it's entirely possible that, well, he just immediately wrapped them up in the coffin and just sent them to the cemetery for a quick service. But I just feel like that's really out of character for that guy to do, because he loved his family so much. I don't think he would have immediately tried to speed run the grief process, the mourning, and a funeral. So like, it just feels like time doesn't really exist properly in the film. So even though they say 3 nights, It feels like weeks pass. There's a couple other instances I can point to, but there's no need. You get what I'm trying to say. It just felt a little weird that every character seemed to have Goku instant transmission. But it didn't bother me all that much because it kept the pacing moving. Not that I mind slow pacing, but there are a couple moments where the pacing does get a bit awkward. Again, that's not even like a complaint or anything. But what is a complaint, and it's my biggest complaint, is that it really feels like no matter what the characters did here, they didn't actually have any effect on the story. So even something unexpected like Tom's escaping, Count Orlok didn't plan on that, and when he gets the news he escaped, he was surprised. But
craving a big burger? Well, we've got big value. The iconic Subway foot.
It's not value if it's twice as expensive as a regular burger. I'm sorry. Subway's too expensive now. You're getting a fucking half a foot long 6 inches. No fucking way. Either you pay for the entire thing, or you don't buy it.
He even says, hey, he could be useful to me. And ultimately, it just truly didn't matter that he escaped. His escape did nothing to throw a monkey wrench into anything at all. None of the characters' presence or their decisions did anything at all with the story itself and the way that it progresses. They are kind of just spectators watching what happens and learning why it's happening. So that just kind of felt underwhelming that what the characters were doing just really wasn't...
Also, a major part of the third act was Willem Dafoe's character wanting to talk to the main girl, and then the main girl wanting to talk to Willem Dafoe. What's stopping them from going to each other's house? Like, Aaron Taylor-John's like, I sent them back to their house. And it's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Like, mate, get their address, go over to them. You can be there within a fucking minute. I was thinking that, like, what? Just go there. I need to speak to the doctor. Like, mate, go to his house. I don't understand why you couldn't have gone to their house. Because back then, everything was in walking distance. At the beginning of the movie, we saw that it was in walking distance. And at the end of the fucking movie, you were seeing them running from one house to the cemetery, back to the other house. Like,
mattering. They were kind of just trying to figure out, well, what is Nosferatu? What's going on here? And why is Ellen so haunted? What is the connection here? And then when shit's hitting the fan with some fart on top because of a plague that's coming through killing everybody, they're trying to figure out, well, what can we do to stop this and, stop Nosferatu? And they never really get a plan in motion. They get the semblance of a plan and they act on something that one of the characters knows actually doesn't matter. That is the point. He is literally doing something he knows doesn't matter because what's happening is already predetermined. It's on rails and none of the characters can do anything to stop it. So when the movie concludes, it feels a little underwhelming that all of these characters that we've come to know and love really didn't have an effect on the plot. It was one character making the decision that the bad character wanted them to the whole time, and that's that. It just feels a little lackluster. I don't mind movies that don't have a happy ending. In fact, some of my favorite pieces of media don't have happy endings. A non-happy ending can sometimes be the most powerful one.
Infinity War.
But here, it just felt like the journey was an ultimately meaningless one. Like, these characters never actually even fought against Nosferatu in any sense of the word. Like, I don't mean fucking pugilistic throwing down with him or anything silly like that. I mean, they really didn't do anything that had him concerned that his plan wasn't going to work. Everything went exactly the way it was said to in the very beginning. And that'd be fine if there was at least a couple of moments where, like, oh, the characters might actually do something to stop him. Like, there's stakes where, like, the characters are going to pull through and come up with a great solution here to fix this and save everyone or something. They're going to fight back against evil. But they never actually do. There is one thing that gets set in motion, like I mentioned, where they thought they were about to do something to Nosferatu, but one character knew the whole time they weren't, and they didn't. And for me personally, that just doesn't feel very satisfying, especially when you buy into this love story between Ellen and Thomas about like how powerful that love is, that it can overcome evil and defy evil, defy not.
Also, something I thought of immediately, because when they find out that Willem Dafoe's character like misled the Doctor and Thomas, the Doctor was like, "You're a madman," and it was like he literally became a madman in that instant. He started burning everything, and apparently there was a gas canister you could easily see to spin out, blow out the fire, which is insane that they use real fire, but we see Thomas and the Doctor running to Alan, but then when they get to their house, Willem Dafoe's there with them, out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting him to see him for the rest of the fucking film, basically. I thought he was going to become a madman. It's like, we're not meant to like him in the end. But no, he was just in there in the last scene. Like, why was he there? How was he there?
Nosferatu, but it doesn't. It never even for a second makes Nosferatu think that it might. Like, there was never any defying of Nosferatu at all. It's just, I don't know, it felt very unsatisfying for me in that regard. And that is pretty much the sole reason why it's not like in my top 5 of the year. There is a lot I really like about the movie. Like, there's a lot I could glaze it on. And there is a lot that I mentioned at the beginning that I did glaze it on. But this one thing for me is just kind of a big deal, because for a movie like this, you buy into these characters. The performances are amazing. The storytelling is great. Like, everything is getting you hooked. But as it gets towards the end, the characters aren't actually even directly participating. It's just showing you, reminding you, the characters are powerless. That it is a hopeless situation here. And the best they can do is learn about Nosferatu so they can realize just how powerless they are against him. And that's just not super fulfilling, I don't feel. So it just feels like, oh, well, that's just sad. You know, like, it just feels, for me, unsatisfying. So yeah, I like the movie a lot. I just don't love it like I thought I would, and like everyone else seems to be loving it. And that's okay. I feel like that's all right. We can like different things to different degrees, I would say, when it comes to movies like Nosferatu. Anyway, though, I definitely think it's worth watching. That's about it.
I wanted people to be like, you look exactly like it. Because that's the first thing I thought. I also thought that everyone was just gonna die. Like, the first time you saw the Dracula or whatever, you're gonna see them die again and again and again.
Robert Eggers, the man behind the 2024 remake of Nosferatu, first came to my attention a couple years ago when I saw The Northman. As you may have noticed, I'm a person that loves learning about pagan rites. And while I was watching...
I don't know if she pronounces Nosferatu as she normally would, or if she does it to be pretentious. Nosferatu. Like... Because the movie didn't pronounce it like that. Yes, I'm sorry. Nearly 2 hours into the stream, we would start playing a game. I know. I'm sorry. But I got sidetracked with music. I'll do Injustice in about an hour or so. But I wanna play Wukong. Because that's my main game. My main.
Look, there is a difference between Jason Jason Momoa getting cast as Lobo and Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Because with Momoa and Lobo, people wanted this to happen. It's like putting food in your mouth. It was just meant to be. Whereas Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, even though I think this is really cool, no one really asked for this and are extremely skeptical about how this is all going to turn out, because Iron Man already had his perfect ending, and the multiverse concept is creating some disgusting storytelling strategies right now. But Aquaman, his Cinderella story ended in the most DCEU way it possibly could have. So yeah, Momoa as Lobo looks like a passion role, whereas Downey as Doom, even though it's cool, looks slightly desperate, but hopefully I'm proven wrong. Look, there is...
My wife will send me some of the most ridiculous random texts, and I never know how to respond to them. For example, someone took a fat shit in his bathroom at the gym. What am I supposed to say to that, honey? What am I supposed to say? I'm sorry. I told her, I said, thanks for letting me be gone all day. Sorry if it's been boring. She goes, I miss you though. Honey, I'm capable of living for a day without you. I was fine, I did my own stuff. I'm like, I haven't even said anything, dude. All right? And then she goes, can you please bring me home some candy? The other night, she was also at a bar with her sister for her sister's wedding, and I said, hey, honey, just checking in, making sure everything's going okay. And she sends me this.
I think that's a pretty accurate response.
I don't even, what is that supposed to mean? I'm guessing that means you're okay, but who knows? Then out of nowhere, she sends me this voice memo.
Okay, hi, Pops. So I just wanted to say that it was the whole thing. Mama pooed on the ground, I had to clean it up, and I'm going into the whole thing.
My wife will send... some of...
While I was watching The Northman, I remember just thinking...
I'm sorry. I do not like interpretations of films. Because films aren't books. They're not literature where you need to think of it. There always have to be metaphors. This comment is like, I've been watching analysis after analysis of this movie, waiting for someone to express this point of view. As someone who suffers from OCD, I saw this movie as a metaphor for troubling mental health conditions, and the ending as an expression of what needs to happen for us to be free. Embracing that which torments us, bringing it into the light of awareness and treating it with love and compassion. Like, mate, why can't you just look at it as a vampire wanting to fuck a woman? That's the movie. I'm sure Robert Eggers himself. It's like, it's just a movie about someone who wants to lay pipe. Like, also that meme where like English teachers like, oh, the author describes the ground as, or the bed as as white, like it's pure and clean. But the author's like, I just wanted it to be white. There's nothing in, but like, nah, I don't like that.
It's really...
Then no, there's no.